La da 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 da. Testing the mic a little bit. It was a little bit hot on the last recording, take 3. Valve hates fun, ladies and gentlemen. You want to know why? This is Anubis, newest map added into the competitive pool. They did an update to this map, right? You used to be able to throw grenades over the A bomb site. You can't do that anymore, and that's a problem. Now, why is that a problem specifically? Among other things, I wanted to find a lineup for this smoke. I saw not Zywoo, but Monacy throw this. The idea is that it's kind of analogous to the B monster Lurk smoke, where you're able to creep out and make a solo play with it. And the idea is that I wanted to find a lineup from spawn, because I look up here from the A bomb site, and you know, I'm not a level designer, I'm not an expert, and I'm not a Valve employee above all things, so my words mean nothing. But it seems to me like this is the kind of thing you might be able to throw some grenades over. This was one of the elements of the map, just in terms of visual design, that excited me when I first saw the news that Anubis was getting added to the pool, because I was thinking of all the creative ways that you might be able to use this open area. But since Valve hates fun, we have to come up with a different solution. That's the bad news. The good news is I found 2 different ways to throw that exact same smoke. Now, the first is a little bit scary because you're exposed to con and a bridge. So you have to... it necessitates that you have this control of canal. And the lineup is a little bit screwy. You have a little bit of room for error, not a whole hell of a lot. Now, I'm kind of using these 2 dots here as my guideline, putting my crosshair in between them. And basically, if you have a rifle, you just kind of look here and then down just a hair. And I'm running and I'm jump throwing when I'm crossing the end of the boat. Now, it's a little bit hard to describe, better to show, I guess, rather than tell. So that's all right. I actually waited a little bit too long before the release. It should be a little bit closer, maybe just the tiniest of gaps right here. Now, the idea with this smoke is that it's basically cutting off all but the widest of fountain peaks. So if you have a guy here in A main, you pair this with a flashbang to sort of get him up here. He could start working up here. Let's refresh the smoke. He could start working up here, and the idea is that if that Canals player even wants to flash through for this guy, maybe have him make a solo play, that's an option that you have. Now, a second way of throwing this same smoke rather, is that you're going to come into this corner right here. Now, this one necessitates that you have a main control. They both have their drawbacks. You're going to put your crosshair, this little stain right here, up just a hair, and you're basically just going to walk through the bit. Now, this one is going to land a little bit deeper. It's not going to be as good for cutting off fountain, but you can sort of adjust it even, and maybe even just try a standing throw. In any event, you sort of get the idea. The idea is that you're able to lurk out A main. I'll have to play with that second lineup just a little bit in order to get just the right amount of cover off of this fountain guy. But yeah, that was one nade on CSGO nades, or that wasn't on CSGO nades, rather, that I thought we all should know.